Now, full disclaimer, there is one detail that I talk about in the game that happens very early on that I know people are going to say is a spoiler. However, this game is 5 years old, and this spoiler happens, like I said, very early on. And at this point, if you don't know it, you're stuck in a cave because everyone talks about it. Just thought I'd mention that. Now, let's get into the intro. Howdy do, y'all, this is John, and today we are talking about The Last of Us Part 2, a video game that came out 5 years ago by Naughty Dog. In The Last of Us Part 2, you play as Ellie, the little girl from the first game, who is on a quest for vengeance, trying to track down this group of bad guys who killed the protagonist of the first game, Joel, right in front of her. And that's more or less the whole story. Her trying to find Abby and the people who killed Joel. There's a little bit more going on, but I'll get to that later. So getting into it first and foremost. What I like about this game, obviously, Naughty Dog has always been top of the notch with their video game graphics. The Naughty Dog engine is one of the most advanced game-making engines out there. And every time they make a new video game, they show why it's one of the best. The original Last of Us had some of the best graphics for the PS3 era. This one for the PS4, PS5 era. The version that I played is the remastered version for the PS5. I have played the PS4 remaster and the PS5 remaster for the original Last of Us. Those games looked awesome. And Last of Us Part 2, just take a look at this footage that I shot on my PS5. It looks amazing. In addition to that, as far as the characters go, Ellie is in a very dark place in this game. Ellie, you can tell there's still the old Ellie in her, but she's changed a lot. She's much older in this game. And she's seen a lot more dark crap. She's not, constantly making quips and dad jokes. However, every now and then she still does. And you can tell she's not, she may be in a dark place, but she's not a completely different person. I didn't entirely buy her romance with Dina a little, too much. Because when the game starts, they're already in it. And yeah, Neil Druckmann made one of the most common story mistakes there. Now, when it comes to the newer characters, the ones introduced in this game, I think that Jesse and Owen are kind of like the two best developed characters. Jesse is a friend of Dina and Ellie. And when they go on their vengeance quest, he follows them, not because of his loyalty to Joel, because, he didn't know Joel that much, but because of his loyalty to his friends. Not only that, but whenever one of the two girls makes a mistake or does something stupid, instead of doing some beta male move and, sits there and submits, he calls them out. There's this one particular moment, Ellie is about to make a mistake, and he calls her out on it completely, but she refuses to bend, and he's just like, okay, I'm gonna do the opposite. There is one character that they tried to make you like that I just wasn't entirely a fan of, and that was Abby. I'm gonna get into more detail later about what I don't like about Abby, because it kind of ties into what I think is the biggest mistake in this game. But there's this attempt to make her likable and relatable in the game, and you do get stuck playing as her for a while. However, it doesn't work because, first and foremost, she's the one who kills Joel. Joel is a beloved character from the first game. that rubs a lot of people the wrong shoulders. It still does so 5 years later. Even someone like me who only just played The Last of Us earlier this year, or earlier last year. Oh yeah, it's 2026, so it's been 6 years now. I only just played The Last of Us for the first time last year, and it rubbed me the wrong way. And in my opinion, they just don't do enough. They don't. On top of that, her character design is very laughable, because it looks like they put a girl's head on top of a dude's body, gave her tiny boobs on a man's body. I'm not kidding. Girls, once they take a butt ton of testosterone, they don't look like that. An extremely muscular woman looks like this. They don't look at all like this. It's just laughable character design. This game is also a lot darker than the first Last of Us, and I think it's justifiably a lot darker. The themes it carries, revenge, guilt, forgiveness, a lot of that delves into dark situations. Yes, forgiveness is kind of a light in darkness, but in order to forgive, dark things need to happen. For instance, there's this subplot involving Ellie forgiving Joel because she misunderstood something he did in the first game. She misunderstood his actions when she found out. Because, let's face it, Joel was in the right. He was. But he did some messed up things, he had every right to do it, but it was still messed up. And part of the whole forgiveness thing is her forgiving him for that, because she thinks he stole something from her. But he didn't. He gave her something. And as far as the music goes, I love the music in The Last of Us. The same composer made the music for this game. And while the music is not as recognizable, it's still very good. Sets the tone and mood correctly. Just like with the tonal shift in this game, it's also a little bit darker than the music in the first game. However, I do think they made a very serious mistake on this game. I think that this should have been The Last of Us Part 3, and we should have gotten a different second game. Certain things in this game, I don't think they would work unless there was already a different game in between the first Last of Us and this one. I know it's very much too late now, but I really wish that Neil Druckmann had thought this through and instead made a completely different second game. Because part of the whole forgiveness arc thing is a redemption arc for Abby. However, our introduction to her is her killing a beloved character. Instead, what I think Neil Druckmann should have done is have this be Last of Us Part 3, did something different in Part 2, and in that different thing, introduce Abby as a supporting character, helping Ellie, who's on her own lone voyage, with Joel chasing after her, trying to find her. Because there's a lot of things going on in this game that, unless they had done that, I would just simply not buy it. There's also a few woke things in it. Now, I know, a lot of people are sick and tired of hearing people complain about The Last of Us Part 2 having woke stuff in it, but there is some of that stuff in it. Now, some, it's okay. It's like, alright, I can see where an argument could be made. You can't really, alter that and not change the story, but others, there is. You could change them and they wouldn't affect the story at all. Like, there's this one character in it that's trans. Remove the trans element, it would not have changed a single thing. So why even bother to make him trans? Guys, at the end of the day, The Last of Us Part 2, they made some really bad mistakes with this game. However, at the end of the day, I still enjoyed it. It's still undeniably a good story. It's just it should have been the third chapter, not the second chapter. Ellie is awesome. The graphics are great. Music's good. Like I said, they undeniably made some serious mistakes. And, I don't blame anyone who just completely turned off the game after Joel was killed. But I do understand it's part of fandom. I'm going to give The Last of Us Part 2 an 8. Unlike Part 1, this ain't a perfect 10 out of 10. Not even close. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Please look forward to more videos real soon. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Please also subscribe if you're new to the channel. Please don't forget, I also have a secondary channel where I do gaming content. Please go check it out. And as per usual, please remember,